What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show. My name is Dylan, and I am your host, and we have got a fantastic show, as always, lined up. A lot going on in the news today with Hillary Clinton. More revelations coming out, as always, because it seems like she can't do anything right. It seems like she's always doing something illegal, and we're always trying to get on top of that. So we got some news about that, and just a lot of other news stories to cover today I think you guys are really going to be interested in. So make sure you stay tuned, and let's get right into it. So we have something, a little something, okay? It's nothing big, but we have something called the Federal Records Act, okay? We have that. It's important, and you're not supposed to violate the Federal Records Act. You know, as most acts, you're not supposed to violate them. Well, and Hillary Clinton did. And if you're wondering how I know this, it's because the FBI investigation found ample evidence that she did violate the Federal Records Act. So this is on the Daily Caller. And it says, FBI investigators compiled enough evidence during their investigation of Hillary Clinton's rogue email server to show that the former Secretary of State violated federal record-keeping laws. She was also informed in 2009, which was her first year in office, that she had no obligation under the Federal Records Act to forward her State Department work emails to the agency's record prevention system. But according to the news website Circa, Clinton opted against that option because she never wanted control over sensitive, or because she wanted control over sensitive messages. So that's a revelation in itself right there. And we know that Hillary Clinton's been doing stuff sketchy. I mean, and everybody knew, right? And I know 100%. And I think that a lot of people that listen to my show, and a lot of conservatives in general, and even a lot of liberals, I think a lot of liberals know. They just don't want to admit it. But I think they know that Hillary Clinton broke the law. Right? There's like no question that Hillary Clinton broke the law. She broke the law. She knew she was breaking the law. Right? She knew what she was doing was illegal. She did it anyway. And now we have a problem. Now we have a problem because she's not going to get any punishment for this. No punishment whatsoever. It doesn't matter what she did. It doesn't matter how many times she did it. It doesn't matter how bad it is. She is not going to get any punishment for this. The FBI, no one wants to go against the Clintons. You end up dead if you go against the Clintons. Why would you want to go against the Clintons? Why would any logical person say, "Oh, you know what would be fun to do today is let's risk my life and go against the Clintons"? No one's going to say that. The FBI director, he said that he lays out all this evidence against her. Oh, well, she did this, and then he comes out and says she did, but we didn't have enough evidence to indict her, that they would not recommend indicting. It's just bullcrap. And he didn't want to end up losing his job if Hillary Clinton wins. That's what it all comes down to. See, that's the problem with politics, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why that's one of the big reasons that our system that we have, this great system we've built in this country that our founders set up, it's just falling apart. It's collapsing. Because, number one, the American people have stopped giving a shit, right? So when the American people stop giving a shit, you've got a problem. Number two, the politicians don't care about the people anymore. And they only want to serve what's best for them and their pocketbook. Like the head of the FBI director is a politician. What he did in saying that he would not recommend indictment just so he could keep his job if Hillary Clinton win, that's political. I mean, this man is a politician. She should be indicted right now. So many bad things. She should be in jail. I personally think that Hillary Clinton should be in jail. If Donald Trump had done this, he would be in jail. If Mitt Romney had done this, he would be in jail. If John McCain had done this, he would be in jail. It doesn't matter who it is. Just as long as they have an R next to their name, they're going to jail. If they have a D, maybe not. That's just the brokenness of our system. And it's horrible. But I mean, you can't really expect anything different. But let's keep reading into this story because there's a lot more to get to. Circa's report comes from former Washington Times veteran reporter John Solomon and is based on an unnamed sources familiar with the FBI's investigation of Clinton. That probe ended in July when FBI and Justice Department declined to press charges against a Democratic presidential candidate. Blah, blah, we all know that. But sources told Solomon that there was ample evidence that Clinton violated the Federal Records Act by failing to save her work-related emails to the State Department's SMART system and by exclusively using a private BlackBerry and email account. Further, Solomon reports that one witness interviewed by the FBI invoked their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. It is unclear who that witness was, but the report describes the individual as a technology-oriented worker. And by the way, when you plead the Fifth, that basically means that you've done something wrong, right? You don't plead the Fifth unless you've got something to hide. And I know it's your right to plead the Fifth. You can plead the Fifth all you want, but typically you're not going to plead the Fifth unless you have something to hide. That's just a fact. That's just a fact, right? I mean, I don't even know if I want to read the rest of the story. The report contains other information, which has not been verified by the Daily Caller. Clinton's team of handlers was specifically questioned by a tech worker involved in maintaining her private email server at her New York residence about whether the system flouted federal rules and regulations. According to Solomon's sources, the worker was told that the system was in compliance. Clinton also opted to continue using a private email address on her personal BlackBerry because she did not want her emails made available under the Freedom of Information Act. So she continued to use this private email server because she did not want her emails to be able to be accessed by anybody under the Freedom of Information Act. She didn't want it. And so she's like, I'm just going to use this private email server so I don't have to be transparent. Clinton knew that by using the personal email account, her records would not be accessible to the State Department employees who handled FOIA requests. That claim, if true, would grossly undermine Clinton's assertion that she did not use private email systems to flout FOIA. A federal judge has granted the watchdog group Judicial Watch discovery in order to get to the bottom of that issue. The group recently submitted 25 questions to Clinton asking her why and how she set up the private email system. She's not going to answer any questions, honestly. This is just going to go round and round in circles. But what I'm concerned about, or what I'm excited about, I should say, because, and again, like I said in past podcasts, I don't care if this makes her lose the election. I don't care if not finding it out. All I care about, right? This isn't about the election to me. This is about more than the election. This Hillary Clinton investigation, getting to the bottom of this whole Hillary Clinton thing, is about much more than the election. To me, this is about getting to the bottom of a criminal investigation involving a politician that thinks she can get away with anything. I think that's the most important thing here, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have to make sure that we don't allow politicians and people in government and people in power to think they could just take advantage of the American people like this, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to take advantage of the system. They're trying to take advantage of the American people's ignorance and the fact they don't care. Hillary Clinton thinks she can just slide past this whole email controversy, that she doesn't even have to concern herself with this whole email controversy because, oh, hey, you know, the American people are still going to vote for me at the end of the day. Do you really want to be that person who votes for Hillary Clinton and be the person that she's talking about and she's thinking about when she says, oh, people are going to vote for me anyway? Do you want that to be you? Because that's what her supporters are. And if you go out and vote for Hillary Clinton, you are an idiot. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You're an idiot. So all this new information's coming out. There's going to be a lot more. She's got her October surprise where they're going to release all those 15,000 emails. And she's not doing very good. I mean, meanwhile, we've got Donald Trump, who's going to Mexico, having meetings with the Mexican president, doing fantastic things. We have Donald Trump going down to Louisiana. Hillary Clinton isn't because she's fundraising. I mean, we've got Donald Trump stepping up to the plate, looking like a leader. I mean, he's trying to reach out to the African Americans. He was in that gospel. He was trying to sing along or clap along to that, like, in the African American Mass or whatever, you know, clap along with to the beat of the music in there. And he looked horrible doing it, but at least he's reaching out, right? That's all that matters. If he is reaching out and at least trying, he's doing more than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's been doing nothing. I mean, she is just such a disgrace, and that's why I don't think she's going to win this. But I mean, again, we're going to have to see what happens later into the election. It's going to be interesting. But I love to keep you guys informed on this kind of thing, on what's going on with the whole email situation, because you're never going to hear it in the media. You are never going to hear it in the media. Fox News may cover it. They may be the only one. CNN isn't going to cover it. MSNBC isn't going to cover it. You know, all these other ABC isn't going to cover it. No other news organization is going to sit down and go into an extensive investigation on the Hillary Clinton email. No one's going to do it. So I try to do this. I try to bring you guys these stories when they happen so that you guys know what's going on. I want to keep you guys informed. But anyway, let's move on with the show because we have a lot more stories to get to into the show. And yeah, let's keep moving on. And I just want to say that this episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show is brought to you by the H is Silent in Benghazi shirt, which is the shirt that me and my friends are selling. You can find the link to it down below. It's a really attractive shirt. It comes in a lot of different colors. It just says link to shirts, and the link will be right there in the description of this video. Just go click on it. I'm sure you guys will like it. It says the H is Silent in Benghazi. They're flying off the shelves almost as much as the Nah shirts. So make sure you go down there and pick one of those up, or at least just check them out. I'm pretty sure you'll like it though. And yeah, so go check it out. Hillary Clinton cannot keep up with Donald Trump. She cannot do it. It's so funny. I'm having such a good time watching Donald Trump just slash through everything that Hillary Clinton thinks she had. She thought coming into this election, she thought Donald Trump, let me backtrack a little bit. Donald Trump has been like the dream crusher for the establishment since he entered the race. Have you noticed that? Like at first, remember, in April of not last year, but the year before, it was supposed to be Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton. That was supposed to be the election this year. They were supposed to be the ones in nomination. And I still think if Donald Trump had never gotten in the race, it would have been Jeb Bush. It would have been Jeb Bush. Donald Trump comes in. Jeb Bush is basically crying by the end of the whole Donald Trump Jeb Bush back and forth thing when Jeb Bush drops out of the race. Donald Trump crushed Jeb Bush's dreams, which is good. We don't want the establishment in power. That's not something we want. In the general election, everybody thinks it's going to be Hillary Clinton that wins. Everybody's talking, oh, Hillary Clinton's going to win. Hillary Clinton's going to win. Blah, 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 blah. All this crap, right? What happens? Donald Trump is now slashing her lead. CNN is reporting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not making this up. CNN reporting. And remember, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all these other news organizations, they oversample Democrats in their polls by like 3,000 votes. We've gone over this many times on my show. That was an attractive voice crack, but we have gone over this many times on my show. They oversample Democrats because Hillary Clinton can't win this election by herself. She can't do it. She needs the media to try and discourage Republicans from going out and voting for Trump. She was trying to get the media to say, hey, look, this election's over. Look at these horrible polls. The election's over. Don't even go out and don't even bother voting. It's over. Hillary Clinton's won. Now CNN, embarrassingly, is having to admit, there's a headline. CNN admitting in their polling that Donald Trump has cut Hillary Clinton's lead in half by 50%, in half. That's 50%. Cut it in half since her nomination, since her convention, I should say. He's just cut it in half. He's going through because, and we're going to get into that, but an LA Times tracking poll came out. Donald Trump is now leading Hillary Clinton. The latest LA Times political tracking poll shows Donald Trump now leading Hillary Clinton in the presidential race by 3 points. On August 14th, Clinton was leading Trump by about 5 points, while Trump sank to 41.6%. The USC Dorn-Seif LA Times poll asked roughly 3,000 American citizens each day about the presidential race in order to reflect the political pulse of the country. Now he's leading her, and she can't do anything about it. 3 points. That means he's made an 8-point swing since August 14th. 8 points. This is like unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Donald Trump is a legend right now. And let me tell you why, okay? We're going to talk about why. Because a lot of people, you see Donald Trump making this epic comeback and all this, but you don't really get why he's doing this. And there's a good reason behind it, all right? Let's take a look at what they've been doing. Let's just take a look. Donald Trump went to Louisiana. That was like the first thing he did, and I saw that move by Donald Trump, and I think a lot of people saw it this way as well, and I said, you know what, that's a really good move. Donald Trump is showing leadership. He's stepping up to the plate, even though he hasn't been elected president yet. He's showing that he cares about these people. Louisiana, there's a lot of Democrats in Louisiana, right? There's a good chance Donald Trump, I mean, that is a very Democrat, they have a Democrat governor. And him going down there, working with those people shows he put politics second, right? That's another thing. Great leader, right? This is all since he's revamped his campaign, got rid of Paul Manafort, got all these new people on board, dropped my pen. He's looking like a leader right now, which is amazing. Now, the second thing he did goes to Mexico, right? Hillary Clinton refused to visit Mexico. Donald Trump goes to Mexico, meets with the Mexican leader, has a press conference with the Mexican president, looks like a leader. They talk about the wall. They talk about keeping jobs in our hemisphere. They talk about all this great stuff, and the American people see that as a leader. They see leadership in Donald Trump. They absolutely see it. Then Donald Trump's reaching out to the African-American groups. He's meeting with African-Americans in Detroit, in Philadelphia, all around the world. He's going to African-American churches. He's reaching out, unlike any other Republican presidential candidate has done in decades. He's trying to pick up these voters. He wants to help these people. He wants to give these people jobs. He wants to make sure these people, and in the eyes of the American people, maybe not in the eyes of the media, but in the eyes of the American people, they see a leader in Donald Trump right now. They see a leader in Donald Trump. They don't see the bombastic, immature, person that the media tries to portray him. They see a leader. Now, what's Hillary Clinton been doing this entire time? What's Hillary Clinton been doing? She's been fundraising. She's been hanging out with rich people. She's been resting, right? She's been doing absolutely nothing because she's busy she just got out that huge investigation from the FBI. I mean, she's got so much holding her campaign back, but she hasn't been doing anything to display leadership. She could still be winning right now. If she had gone to Mexico too, that would have looked good. If she went to Louisiana too, that would have looked good. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Hillary Clinton doesn't need to right now. She'll start doing it as soon as the polls switch around. I agree. She will. But it doesn't matter because her trying to do it then is going to look worse because it clearly looks like she's trying to scoop up, the missing pieces that she's lost since Donald Trump started winning. Donald Trump is cremating Hillary Clinton right now. Cremating Hillary Clinton. She's getting just blown out, and it's all to leadership. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Over the past 8 years, we have not had a leader in the White House. Barack Obama has displayed zero leadership whatsoever. He showed that he doesn't care about the American people. He showed that he has no intention of caring about the American people. He showed that he's only interested in playing politics, and that's it. Donald Trump is showing leadership, and the people seek that. If you look at the polls, what do people want? They want a leader. They don't think Obama's a leader. They want a leader. And Donald Trump is giving that to them. And that's why Donald Trump is destroying Hillary Clinton's polls. LA Time tracking poll. He's winning. 8-point swing since August 14th. That's huge. That's ginormous. Now he has to keep it up, right? He can't let everything slip now. He can't go back to being stupid Donald. He has to be smart Donald. And he has to keep it up. But I think, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is on a good track right now. Now he just has to push through the debates and do a really good job in those debates. And I hope he does a really good job. I mean, they have Matt Lauer moderating the first debate, so they're already setting up. At least we have Chris Wallace for one of them. I know he's turning into a liberal, but at least we have Chris Wallace. At least we have that. But anyway, we're going to move on with the show here, talk about more topics because we have many more. So let's keep moving forward. So every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen, I like to bring you guys something just completely insane that the feds are doing, that the government's doing. Just something that, why are we spending money on this? It's one of those things. Why are we wasting our money on something like this? And I occasionally like to do it. I haven't done it in a while, but we're going to be back at it again, pulling them up pretty often here because it gets pretty insane. So, out by the Washington Free Beacon, story headline, Feds spend $333,989 studying conversations. Now, you may say, Dylan, $333,989 isn't that much. Right? That's not that much. Just forget it. It's not that much. Okay, first of all, when the taxpayers are paying for it, that's a problem, right? Secondly, we're $19 trillion in debt going on $20 trillion. The last thing we need to be doing is spending $333,989 on studying conversations, right? But let's read into it because maybe I have some hope. Maybe when we read into this, there'll be an epiphany. We'll be like, oh, yep, you know what? Should have been funding this way earlier. Maybe there's a really good reason behind this. Let's get into reading this. The National Science Foundation is spending over $300,000 studying conversations, saying that little is known about how people communicate with each other. Okay, little is known, and even if little is known, the free market still could have funded this research, right? If it were that big of a deal, if it were something that important that needed to be solved, that we needed to figure out human conversation, the free market could have funded it. Research by Vanderbilt University began last month into the conversations of high school students and the elderly. Quote, conversations among members of a group is a basic form of language use, a grant for the project states. It likely plays a key role as languages evolved, and it continues to play important roles in children's language acquisition and adult communication. The researchers say little is known about why people are successful at conversing in groups. Quote, group communication is typically a variety of high-stakes settings, including classroom education and business teams, yet surprising a little... Okay, basically their only reason behind funding this thing is that little is known about it so far. It's like, oh, guys, we need to spend over $300,000, even though we're $19 trillion in debt, because, little is known. Little is known. Well, I think little is known about why we're so stupid with how much we spend, so maybe we should stop spending. That'd be nice. I mean, it's just completely insane how much we spend. But anyway, just bringing you guys a little story here, just letting you guys know where your tax dollars are going, because not many people know where they're going, and it's just insane. These are the type of programs we need to cut. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Two Savage for Democrat show on this beautiful Saturday, September 3rd, 2016. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I will catch up with you guys next time. Bye-bye.